Good afternoon, Jared. We are so excited to have you join us in Santa Fe next month. Can't believe it's already coming up so fast for our Wisdom for Better Tourism retreat. Thank you again for taking some time to connect with me today. I really appreciate it. And
Thanks
to
for spending time with me. I'm excited to have this conversation. I'm very excited for the retreat.
Fantastic. Well, to start us off, would you mind just taking a moment to just introduce yourself, maybe share a little bit about your story?
Sure. So I'm Jared Meyers. I'm based out of Orlando, Florida. I grew up in Miami. I'm married. I have an 18-year-old son and a 15-year-old daughter as of tomorrow. And we have always been travelers at heart. We travel frequently. A lot of different exciting destinations that push us out of our comfort zone so that we can grow in a variety of ways. I'm also lucky to be in the travel industry, so I've had a lot of experience as an owner of a company that operates in Florida, Colorado, Nevada, and New Jersey called Legacy Vacation Resorts. I spend most of my time these days trying to get the business to be responsible and transparent and have a positive impact that spans beyond tourism. So
Mm,
I'm also very involved in the Certified B Corporation movement
yeah.
and help grow Florida for Good to make Florida a more responsible state and grow B tourism, which is more global in nature and bringing more B Corps into the community and just the principles behind B Corps, even if they are traditional businesses. I'm active and on the board of Climate First Bank, which is also certified B Corp. But what really distinguishes it is how we design loan products to help try to
Mm,
solve problems and not just make money. We have a strong focus on renewable energy, water minimization, helping nonprofit social enterprises and other responsible businesses. And then I also do real estate development through another B Corp in St. Pete, Florida. We build eco-friendly townhomes, and then we utilize the profits from that to fund a lot of these nonprofit efforts around responsible business.
wow, you have quite a full plate. That is incredible. And for myself, having a background in environment, sustainability, and conservation, I am so excited to hear about this intersection of work that is calling to you and your purpose. I just love it. It's fantastic. We want to find out what called you to join the Wisdom Retreat for Better Tourism.
So I touched on this briefly, but I'm called to it for reasons beyond just tourism, even though tourism is probably what I've done in most of my career and I'm passionate about. But um, I'm of the belief that my time at this retreat is going to help me delve a little bit deeper into kind of just our responsibilities and opportunities as a human species, how we can kind of learn from each other, while we're there, connect at deeper levels, and hopefully kind of reset how we engage with our the natural systems and one another. Um, to create a better life. Positive impact, I think, is about us um, knowing the world and our relationships can be better. And that I think how you accomplish that is through deep wisdom. And so I'm hoping and expecting there will be some really good wisdom shared at the retreat.
Oof.
I have a lot of respect for Jake and Chip, even though I've never spent any time with him. But I guess enough people have spoken well of him that
Yes.
I'm of the belief I'm going to be learning a lot, and I'm excited to spend time with him. So my hope is that by the end of the retreat, I'll be a better human, one a little bit more knowledgeable, or with wisdom, and then I can maybe put that into action.
Absolutely. Well, as an MEA alumni myself, I promise you that your intuition is correct. You are in for a treat connecting and spending some more time with Chip and just spending time at MEA in general. So I'm really excited for you. You have such a wealth of knowledge about tourism. What aspirations or hopes do you have for sort of the future, the direction that we're going in for tourism?
Um, So I know tourism can improve its positive impacts, and I'm hopeful that it will. That we
Yeah.
will find ways in every way that you'd measure that or think of positive impacts. There's just a variety of ways, and minimize harms. I mean, there's a lot of things that we may not have the full solution for, but we can certainly reduce kind of the harm from that. And I think the future of tourism will involve that, and that we need to think with a broader perspective than just from the traveler themselves. I mean, obviously, we are in the business, we're in the service business, and we need to ensure travelers are enjoying themselves. But the benefits of tourism can and should fall to the communities where the tourism
Mm,
is occurring, as much as to the traveler who's there. And we have the ability to do that if these trips are designed properly and if the right intention is in place behind them. So I think that my aspirations are that we take a different design concept and
mm,
how tourism trips are created and thought of, and that the end result of it is that we have again an uplift on all stakeholders, but everyone involved in that process. More meaning, certainly into the travelers' lives as a result of it too.
absolutely. Well, I can certainly see why you're drawn to TTC. The perfect match there. So I'm curious to hear, what role do you think wisdom plays in tourism, not just today, but in the future?
Um, since and I don't know if I have the proper definition of wisdom, but at least as I think of wisdom, I think of it as a lot more than just a bunch of pieces of information that are shared. That it kind of comes from kind of lived experience and understanding subjects at a deep enough level that it fits. You can use it in a context versus just randomly throwing off little pieces of information that might help someone through whatever point they are in their lives. um, I think that you know, for tourism really to be like a force for good, that term gets thrown around a lot.
Yeah.
It really is going to involve this holistic view of the whole travel ecosystem, to get
Mm,
there. It can't just be small pieces and components. So, where like knowledge and intellect can help, yeah, you look at one component and say, you can do this better, or you can do that better, or you can use renewable energy in this part. All of that is helpful, but that doesn't change it that doesn't intentionally change it at a core level. Wisdom, I think, is what we can pull on to understand like the why behind this to begin with. Like, why are you traveling?
yeah.
Why are you even in the business of providing travel? And I think as those questions get explored, it gives us a better chance of
Mm.
using wisdom to recreate, again, the ecosystem and the experiences. And then the goal at the end is that the travel journey is right, inclusive, regenerative, equitable, and transformative.
Ah, fantastic. I love the concept of the travel ecosystem, that it's such a beautifully spoken description of what we're trying to build together as a community. That's wonderful. Thank you. Why is transformational travel important to you personally?
Um, because I believe travel can be so much more than just, I went here and I did that and I came back, and you just like um, kind of say it in a very like generic terms. I think that um, there's so much more meaning again behind why we
Mm,
choose to go to a particular place, how that place moves us and changes us, or can, if we can bring that intentionality, behind it. And again, that's from the traveler perspective, but also then just from the one who's kind of providing that experience. We see ourselves in a much larger role and a much greater opportunity for whatever the changes that we're trying to make in the world. We have those opportunities. People are in a very unique mindset when they're traveling that they aren't at any other point of their year. There's a lot going on, and there's a lot of anxiety, and wellness right now is a real concern out there. But in travel, people are open more to change than they are otherwise. And they don't go there
mhm,
necessarily say, I want to change, but they go there and they just have a more, I think, relaxed state. So I think what
right.
transformational travel is important is that we can really take advantage of this opportunity for the betterment of the traveler and for the
Mm,
betterment of kind of our larger aspirations and in the world. And if we don't do that, I think we're selling the whole experience short. Like we don't need commoditized travel, but that's basically what most
Mhm.
travel is.
Wow, it's so incredibly insightful, and you're right that that change is going to happen because you're traveling. Whether you actually are aware of it or not, it's going to happen. It's wonderful. So if
Certainly
you
in the types of experiences you were creating that you were telling me about, even though I know it didn't
absolutely,
work out as well for you,
yet
but right, that's
yet
why we go into nature, right?
it's
Yes. Yeah.
in
Oh no, no,
process.
of course, but like
Yeah.
that's because it
Yes.
does. It's whether it changes us or it brings us in closer to connection to what we already are, it doesn't matter. Either way, we come back different
Exact.
than
I love
when we
that.
went.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, coming back different than when you went. I mean, I think that alone is a great tagline for TTC. And you're right. And I think that's because we've all experienced it. We do have this desire to help others have that same experience because we know how healing it can be, for sure. Thank you for that.
Yes.
So, if you could wave a magic wand and change just one aspect of tourism or travel, what would it be?
Um, It would be to eliminate the kind of the profit first thinking that exists
Mm,
in travel, and it would put people first. Um, and I would say people and nature, but we are one and the same at the end of the day. But people first. I think that if people feel valued and appreciated in the process, they are more likely, I think, to be good stewards. Kind of
yeah.
going forward. But it would be to change the nature of yeah, just the profit maximizing mindset. And I recognize that extends beyond travel. That is just kind of business in general. So
Yeah.
I think like to actually get there requires a deep change at the core
Right.
of what is business and what is our economic system. But since we're talking about travel, it would be in that sense that we would think of it in other terms and realize that there's a lot more of a rewarding way to do this than just to say,
Mm,
how do we make more money? Instead of like,
right.
how do we provide better experiences and how does that uplift everyone every stakeholder in this process.
Right. And the ripple effect of what that means so far beyond the initial focus. Yeah, absolutely. So, last question. We're pretty much wrapping up now. Do you have any parting words of wisdom that you would like to share with our community?
Words of wisdom. Gosh, I had all the other answers. That's not
It's
immediate
a
one
tricky one.
coming up. It
It
is.
could be something. It could be a piece of advice that you've been given, or something that is that is calling you right now. It doesn't have to even be about tourism. Life wisdom.
I mean, I think the life wisdom is that life is a lot easier when it's lived in congruence. That it's when we live in conflict that we have kind of like the strife and anxiety and difficulties.
Wow.
And when our um, businesses, whether it's our economic systems or our travel ecosystem or however we want to look at it, is designed in a way that isn't in alignment with kind of who we are at a core level, it creates conflict. And that's usually what creates unhappiness and being
Mm,
unfulfilled. And so like I guess for those that want to live a very fulfilled life, it would be design everything that you do personally and professionally, to be in alignment. And
mm,
I think that's transformational travel. That's certainly
yeah,
one of the main goals of it is that we connect at deep spiritual
absolutely.
levels too, and not just at regular in other ways.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you could just teach us how to do that, that would be great. How do I design all the components of my life to be in alignment and congruent? That is the ultimate life quest right there. Well, Jared,
It
I've
is.
just so enjoyed our time together. I really appreciate your wisdom and what you are bringing to the Wisdom Retreat for Better Tourism. So we will look forward to seeing you not very far away, just a few more weeks now. So thank you again.
Thank you. That's wonderful.
How